Oh, I don't think I want that high. Let me adjust my tripod, y'all. That mo gooder. I like that better. So, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors, live from Mississippi. Can I get things to work tonight? It says no connection. You're gonna have to give me a minute. I'll explain what I'm doing here in a second. Oh, so now I'm online. Give me a second. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right. Jason McAllister. Hey, bud, how's it going? Uncle Sasquatch, Douglas Harlows, Beck, Sylvius, William Roberts, Sandrin, Samuel Pruitt, DeSheldo. So y'all, hopefully we're not buffering and jumping around and skipping and all of that tonight. If we are, there's nothing more I can do. It is beyond my power. Because I've hooked up a whole brand new Starlink system. We're not running on the same Starlink. So uh looks like mine is somewhat jumping and skipping. So if it does that, I probably will quit doing the live for a while. So I don't know. Apparently, it is Starlink itself. So is it jumping and buffering and all that on y'all's end and pausing and all such as that? Mark McCulley is on an Alaskan cruise. JL327, how are you? Leroy, Jimmy Sullivan, Bobby Stoff. So, what part of Mississippi? We are near Philadelphia, Mississippi. We are out in Neshoba County. Mr. Petey Freshour, William Roberts said it's humid over on Lake Claiborne. That's over there in Texas, am I right? Brandon Cloud is back tonight. John Newton. So what I done this week is y'all knew I told y'all I had a brand new Starlink in there in the box from back whenever it malfunctioned back when we went to Oak Tibby during spring break. And it started working again. So I never upgraded. I never changed it out. So this week, first of last week, I swapped it all out. I intended to do a live like Sunday, but I wound up with a lot going on. This week's been pretty busy. And it's been busy because I took some time off to go fishing, so I had to double up on my work when I wasn't fishing. So I I got it hooked up. I didn't do a live, so we hoping everything is working better. You gonna sit down for a minute, or you?
Yeah, just a minute. I got T-bone.
So let me explain one other thing. Normally we're out here cooking. We always start the live off cooking something. Well, I didn't tonight because the flies have been horrible. Usually, when we get a lot of rain for a while, for whatever reason, the flies just like explode. Well, I can't bear to cook out here when the flies is just swarming all over everything. I can't handle it. My mental state of being goes downhill dramatically when I'm trying to film and I'm trying to talk to y'all and the fly. I'm trying to fight them off of my stuff. So that is why I'm not cooking. So Michelle has cooked for supper. We fried fish last night.
Yeah, Brady come home from Texas and he's had a little cough going on.
Ah, coffee, good.
But I do have something to say. I have got several Spirit of the Outdoor mugs out there that will be shipped out. If you order one, they'll be shipped out the first of this week before we go on our camp.
Did you see the comment I tagged you in?
I messaged her.
Okay.
So those mugs take a while to do. It's just a long drying process.
And with the rain, it raining a lot, it extends it drying. And here's the problem, y'all. If you put one mug in there that is not dry, it can explode and it's liable to damage several other pieces in there, and it resets you another at
I
least
made
2 or 3 weeks. So
I made a pour in a bowl, like a batter bowl, here a couple weeks ago, I guess, and I fired it with some stuff, and it wasn't dry. The bottom, I guess, was thicker, and it wasn't dry, and it blew up in there. I had pieces everywhere. Luckily, it didn't hit any of my mugs, and I thought it would have knocked some of the handles off my mugs, but it did not.
So y'all, maybe this, if it's buffering, I've seen it buffer on mine a time or two. Maybe it won't buffer too much.
See, I couldn't do my live failed.
Yeah, Michelle was trying to do a live. I was trying to get all the TP up in the background back there. Brody's back there playing with his toys. But we here all the way up until like end of June. And during all that rain, the flies were horrible. So while it was dry, all these dry months, we've not had any fly problems, regardless of whether people sold chickens or put out chicken litter or any of that stuff. I think it's more to do with the moisture. They must be able to really hatch a lot of different places. I don't know. They explode. So what do you need?
I was just looking at the camera. I'm listening to. I got T-boy on, so I'm gonna have to go. You ready for your supper?
So somebody asked about the TP. I have playing right now. I've been fishing a lot. I'll go over some of what's going on here for a little while. Well, I've been this week learning my live scope. So we're going to Tom Bigby next week. We were going to Oak Tibby. It's flooded from the rain. The water. I went down there to I went with a guy that's teaching me how to run the live scope. He's pretty good with it, and he's just teaching me how to operate it. Going in his boat, using his stuff the way he uses it, and showing me how to look for fish, and then I can go back and use it any way I want to use it, or you know. So more than likely, me with live scope, I'm not gonna ride around chasing one fish trying to catch. That just ain't what I want to do. I'm not going to change my fishing over to where I just sit there and stare at the screen all day. I know a lot of people is concerned with that. That just ain't my style of fishing. I want to utilize this to be able to find structure, see if there's fish on it. If they are, I can stop there and then we can fish because I want to get up, help Brody fish, help Brody catch fish. So I can't do all that sitting there staring at the screen. So I don't think we got a lot to worry about. And I'm going to use it to hunt bait, shad, catfishing. So anyway, we were at Oak Tibby learning how to fish with that, and the water is up tremendously. So the water was literally to the top of picnic tables down there. So they canceled our reservations and they've shut the campgrounds at Oak Tibby down until June 18th is what is in the email I got. At least that long. That's if it don't rain a lot between now and then. So we booked reservations for Tom Bigby next week. So we're leaving Wednesday and we'll be on Tom Bigby again for the next till Saturday for 2 or 3 days. So I'm gonna do some catfishing, limb lines, jug lines, but we're gonna do some crappie fishing. Crappie should be on structure up there. I fished Kemper Lake. I caught my first fish ever, is crappie ever, on Kemper Lake yesterday. And we caught a, from now on, I won't be so mad at them. I'll probably keep just a few fish. I'm not planning on, trying to see if I can fill a cooler up every time. But I was pretty mad at them yesterday because I've struggled with crappie up there for a long time. And it was really a lot simpler than I figured. It's a matter of finding the structure, seeing if there's fish on it. Then you fish for 'em. So reason I'm telling all about the fishing is once we get back from Tom Bigby and my fishing is tapered off, I'm gonna take the TP down. I'm gonna take everything down. I'm gonna start cutting some new poles. I have located some new pine trees. I'm gonna re-erect it down here in the back of our property where there's an old pond. It's a real small pond. I'm gonna go down there and do some cleaning up, take the lawnmower and mower some areas. And I'm gonna fix it all up where I can film down there. I thought I would use it more up here by the house. Well, that turned out to be not the case because I can't hardly get out there and film because everything going around on up here in the racket. I'm better off back there where I'll be out there filming and people's driving up and coming around there to see what I'm doing. So I need to be out of sight, out of mind. So I'm going to move the TP down there. Once I get it moved, somewhere between now and fall, we're going to start back into our black powder. I'm going to clean up my shooting range down there and we're going to pull out black powder rifles and we're going to start dialing in and shooting black powder again. And hopefully with Mr. Petey Fresh Hour and them up here. But I'm going to do some bow hunting and some of my old school hunting down here in this swamp. I can drive my buggy down there and I can find places where I'm not baiting. I'm not. Hopefully the water will be up and I can use a canoe a little bit. So we're going to start getting up toward that, which I'm still going to be fishing a lot and making knives a lot. And hopefully we can make some stuff to go along with the knife shop to go along with our black powder stuff. Because I've took some time off of black powder, just backed out of it. I got frustrated with it. I was having a lot of problems with it, and I had a lot going on. So we're going to try to slow down, and we're going to do back to them. And then I'm going to start as we get into fall. That is when everything starts blooming and getting primed to do the medicinal plants. I've not done medicinal plants since last year. I think I did one little video this year. Please stop. And so a lot going on. I've got a lot of plans, but I am fixing. I owe this company that sent me this TP really a lot of videos. I did. I mean, I did the videos that was necessary for me getting it, but I have not spent the time in it like I intended to. So I'm going to spend some time in it here before long. We're going to show how to do it in the weather. Not to mention down there, there's some shade. There's one problem though. The mosquitoes down there are horrible. They're not as bad up here. Mama has brought me some food, y'all. I am fixing to eat.
Come on in.
Eat some words, it's the food.
Come on. Hey, I said back to my thing. Let's say the blessing.
Go in there with Mama and get your plate and eat, son. Finna say the blessing. Lord, we're so thankful for this food. We pray that you bless it to nourish our body to give us strength and good health. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Man.
I may need another biscuit in a minute if that's possible. In a minute. Now let me eat some of this. Don't be in a hurry. And I got my audience coming. When I eat, I always have an audience. Both of them sitting here. I turned that around. Look, you go in there and get your plate. Oh, Lord, Lord. Look at them eggs with them green onions and stuff in there. Biscuits, handmade biscuits. These are not canned biscuits, not frozen biscuits. These are handmade biscuits. Plum jelly and bacon. Mmm. I'll get back to the comments in all in a minute. I'll try to go back and read what I missed. But thank all of you for joining in, watching tonight. Them eggs is fine. Roscoe, I'm sorry, you probably ain't gonna get none. I'm pretty hungry. I should have ate today. We cooked fish last night, and I ate some leftover fish this afternoon. Bro, dream up now. How long's it been since you had a whooping? Hey, go in the house. Go in the house. You're not gonna behave. You're not gonna show out here while I'm filming. I can't deal with it, y'all. I know y'all like it, think it's funny. I can't handle it. It rattles my brain. Did you hear what I said? Mind me. And shut that door for the flies go in. Oh, Lord Jesus, help me. Help me. I messed up one time, y'all. I said, Lord, give me patience. And that's his way of doing it. I'm getting better, but really, really slow. He did help me clean fish this morning. And then he rode with me when we cut about half the yard. I done cut about half whenever he got up here. He been down at my mama's. He calls her Nanny. He been at Nanny's. Please just shut the door, son. You're letting flies in. You what? I said you better not give me. There might be a whooping in your future, Regan. You ain't big enough for that yet. Grandpa, you me screaming. There might come a day when you can, but it ain't today. I have a belt. It will carry you. You're gonna need a whole lot more than a belt. What about a sledgehammer? You better get you a Claymore mine if you're gonna whoop me. Can I do it with a gun? I doubt it. Can I do it with a sledgehammer? It'll break your back. Living, what are you looking at? Are you looking around like he ain't ate this week? That ain't green onions, that's bell peppers. And them's fresh out of our garden. I cut grass all day, all afternoon today. I needed to have my plows on the tractor going through the garden, but I didn't have time to do it all. And I'm hoping the rain holds off till I can get it done. Cause my peas right out yonder needing it bad. And if y'all wonder why I'm trying to eat so fast, I'm trying to eat it for the flies find it. But I'm noticing the flies ain't so bad out here right now. I believe Brody's done let most of them in the house. Right on time. Right on time. Hey, don't be coughing over my coffee.
Cover your mouth up.
No. I was waiting for them
It's just sticky hot out.
It's bad sticky hot. The temperature ain't even that high, I don't think. It ain't quite 100 yet.
Stuart, we heard about that. That man that fell out of the boat at Tom Beasley. It's sad.
At Tom Big. Oh, that was over at Demopolis. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
what, a month or so ago?
No, it wasn't but a week or so ago, I don't think.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Mike Goldberger says him and Janet's at the country club in Philadelphia tonight. What y'all doing at the country club?
It must be picking, playing.
David Rushton said that biscuit makes life worth living.
Yeah. If a man can get him a biscuit along, he'll survive. I'm through.
Dude,
At least with that round. Oh,
mosquitoes will be biting here.
hey, I went down there by that pond and parked the buggy and filmed just in time earlier. And I sprayed some mosquito spray on my arms for a day because otherwise I sat there and do this the whole time. I knew they were bad. Bless his heart, I looked at Roscoe and they was swarming around him and he was just biting at them. They bad down there.
Roscoe's gonna have to get a flea and tick pill.
So the next elephant in the room, this logo on the front of this shirt. When I make a new shirt, this is the new Grinnell shirt. All right. So when I made it, I have to do the mock-ups, they call them. So when I did the front logo, I just pulled it up into a quarter of it. I didn't realize how big it was still going to be on the shirt. I have went back and shrunk it some. I pulled it on where maybe it's like the other ones. I don't know. So now if you order one, they won't be this big, but this is the new Grinnell shirt. Grinnell, it's what's for supper. If you want one of them shirts,
I'm all thirsty.
Let's go get some more.
Dad, I want some. I want a Mountain Dew.
all right, I'm fixing to post a
Not these coffee.
behave.
You didn't beat them out, you anyhow.
No, you've had your last Mountain Dew. You can't handle them. All right, I just posted a link to the Etsy to this shirt. Once you're in that Etsy store, you can go look at other shirts. I do have a crappie shirt made coming. It says put them in the cooler and it's got a beautiful crappie on it. I've made them in 3 different shirts. I made them in a regular cotton t-shirt like this. I made them in a moisture wicking t-shirt. And I made them in one of those hooded moisture wicking like a fishing style shirt. So those fishing hooded thin shirts are about $60-something, I found out. And that's the price of the shirt. It ain't like, hey, I'm making $40 off the shirt. I promise you. Anyway, I have got them on there. I've got the links to all of that stuff. So I put the link to this one, and you can go in there and find whatever you want. So now let me go back and see what all comments I have missed. Somebody asked where the fresh churned butter was. We do have some butter that what? Well, okay. We do have some butter that we bought from Beeson's Family Farms. It is a local dairy farm here that sells milk, and but I just ain't been over there and with when I could come straight home. Cause when you go buy milk, you know, you either got to have a cooler to put it in or come straight home to the house. And I wasn't prepared with either one when I went to town a couple of times this week. So anyway, we getting to everything. We slowly getting life back by the reins. Um. So anyway, surprise party for one of Janet's friends. What Mike Culpepper says. So empty pockets trapping. I do have a thermosale. I just hate to fire it up and waste all the stuff to film a 20-minute video down there. So I just sprayed the stuff on. But now when I go down there and start filming something cooking or whatever I'm doing down there around the teepee, I'll most likely have to carry it with me. I've got several refills for it. You can buy the stuff to refill those little gas bottles yourself. So you can buy the big bottle of gas and you can fill them little canister, the little bottles that go in the bottom of it by yourself. And if I ain't mistaken, you can buy concentrated permethrin and re-soak them pads. They just won't be blue like they were. Uh, I think that blue is just to give you an idea of how long, but I think you can soak it. That's basically permethrin in there. We'll see. David Russian, I seen something on the internet about the search for the body from somebody jumping off the rocks up there at the Tennessee River there. Says Lake Martin. I don't remember right. Somewhere there in the Tennessee River or the Little Tennessee River, we found a rock that we jumped off. It was about 30 something foot. And that's been, or it's been 20 years ago that I was up there and jumped off a rock. I say 20, it was in 2012 or so. So it'd have been 10 years ago, 10 or 11, 12 years ago. John Culpepper. Rhonda, I don't remember what we spent on this butter. It was a little tub of it. I think it's $7 for a little tub of butter, something like that. It wasn't horribly bad, but it's real butter they make right there out of it's, you know, just and you're supporting local people. I love to support local business. I have struggled though in times past to support some of them because they just I, I was trying to support local business with my t-shirts and I was having to do all the shipping, handle everything. I was making more money off of them at that time, but I couldn't get them to make my shirts. I was paying for all the shirts up front, and then the last time I ordered them in like April, and it was like September before I got them, and I'm like, I can't do that. So I had fishing shirts made, and it was September. Fishing season was over, deer season before I got them. So I just I went to the Printify stuff, and it just has been it's been easier on me. It's more aggravating for some people. I don't get to advertise as much, and it makes it difficult. You don't sell as much. I really don't sell a lot of merchandise. Um, and it's because I don't advertise. If it was like up on a banner across the bottom of my videos, people would be more apt to buy them. But another thing is my views on everything has been way down. Like videos ain't even getting 1,000 views no more. Some of them. So I know people don't really like to see the advertisement stuff, but you have to do those videos alone because you're buying products, you're using products, and it's more about me telling you, hey, this is a good product. Because I have took some stuff, used it, I'll come back and tell you, hey, you know what? This didn't last that long. Year later, this ain't worth having. You know, that's the beauty of it. The stuff you've seen me do over again, like I did them Power Queen batteries, and I took them again because them have been excellent batteries. I've got one's been in that War Eagle for almost 2 years, and it'll run that trolling motor on it all day long. I mean, you can just fish all day. So I think they well worth it. I just do, and I'm fixing to do another video here before long, converting the new boat all over to lithium to run that light. You got a battery that runs a live scope, you got a battery that runs the trolling motor and all that, and then you got a third battery that cranks it. Well, I'm gonna probably leave a lead battery back there at least for now because that engine charging it and all that. So Uncle Sasquatch said, be sure to reach over there and tickle the like button. I like the way you put that on. I really do. And I was going to tell you, and I know you and David done talked about black powder, but I had a man call me and he told me, he said, tell Uncle Sasquatch that if he runs across one of them barn rifles in a 50, he's a friend of mine. So I don't know if you can buy one already put together. I mean, I know you can order one from Kibler, but they don't have them rifles somewhere else that you can buy. You got to order them from Kibler brand new, I'm assuming right now. So somebody schooled me in on that. I like the looks of them. And I'm kind of itching to get back to my black powder stuff. It's bad hot right now to do it, but if I get the TP, when I get it moved, we're gonna do some videos re-erecting it, I want taller poles to go in it. I've got some poles that's in bad shape, so I need to do some upgrades on it. And hopefully I can do a better job of putting it up this time. So it all. You have to order them as a kit. Well, I figured that, but the guy told me to ask, so I asked. I did my part. We'll find out. Yamaha recommends using Life PO4 batteries for the trolling motors and lead acid for the cranking batteries. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm sure Mercury's the same way. They're gonna have that barn gun and a 50 caliber smooth bore. If I want a smooth bore, I think I want at least a 62, a 54 or a 62. If I do a smooth bore. So I don't know. I may build one. The problem is right now YouTube won't allow you to film a build on a gun. You can film sanding the wood, you can film staining it, but you can't film lock. Son, he got in trouble the other night, y'all. We was in there. I had just come in from fishing. That was last night or night before. That was Wednesday night.
Wednesday night for church night.
One night I had come in. Maybe I wasn't fishing. Maybe I come in out of the knife shop late. I sat down in the recliner in a chair there in the kitchen, a wingback chair we got there, and I would just sit back talking to Michelle. She was in the kitchen. Well, Brody, he's like he is right now, flopping and jumping in the kitchen. And by that time, he knocked a whole jar of pickles that we had pickled last year off out from under the counter into the floor, busted glass, went everywhere. I said, boy, glad that would. So I ain't really crazy about a lot of pickles. We don't pickle a lot of stuff, so I really wasn't heartbroken over it. I was madder about the jar, which I didn't really get on to it.
Prompted you to go watch Andy Griffin.
So we made Brody go in there, and last night we sat down and we watched the pickle episode where Aunt B made them real wonderful pickles. Okay. Oh, Barney called them, said them kerosene cucumbers. How many of y'all's pickles turn out there because he can't behave? With Brandon, I don't know if I wish I had his energy or not. I'm afraid I'd hurt myself.
Brody quit.
And we steadily hollering, Brody, stop. I mean, I've just about to give up at this point. I told her, I said, he's gonna have to learn the hard way. The only way you're gonna find out.
Stuart Monroe said a shock collar on with ankle.
Yeah, it ain't a bad idea. Nanny asked me what we done with the one we had for Roxanne. I told her I'd give it to Lizzie.
What she named?
No, she was insinuating it. Put it on Puppy. He runs down the driveway following y'all down the road. Puppy's got a problem. Y'all know I am a stickler about dogs chasing vehicles. I'm dead against it. If any of my dogs is biting at the tires of vehicles, they getting a spanking. It's the end of story. No questions asked. It's like a kid playing with a loaded gun. They're gonna get killed if they keep doing it.
Bunch of sweet.
So I'm dead against it. Well, Puppy has been, he ain't chasing and biting at tires, but when Michelle and them leave in the morning, I'll be on the porch drinking my coffee, and because I won't there, she'll be headed to work when she works 2 days a week. And Puppy will follow him all the way the road and then up the road sometimes. So we got to break him from it. And the problem is, like, if I'm leaving, and then the next thing is Puppy don't come to you when you call him. He don't mind good in no way. So it ain't like you can get your hands on him. He knows you after him. He ain't letting you pet him. So
I mean, Coach.
Alicia Stringer said, "Thank you. Her pickles are delicious. She's put up 14 quarts this week."
I hate pickles.
Brody don't like pickles. I tell you what, we got plums running out our ears. I've been feeding plums to the chick. They falling off the tree faster than I can pick them up. And hot as it is, they ain't got worms. I sprayed my plum tree after the fruit was just about to start to turn right. When I started seeing some up there starting to change colors from green, I sprayed the tree. And now at first I had a few that had some worms in them. Now they ain't no worms in none of them. So all that myth of spraying them all when they blooming and budding, now you can hang that up. You can spray them right before they turn right and solve all your problems. Oh, I found that out for a fact this year because this is the first year I've done it that way. But as hot as it is, they getting ripe and there's so many on it, they falling off faster than I can pick them up and do anything with them. Well, the birds is picking some of them, knocking them off. Well, then when the birds peck on them and they hit the ground right, the flies is crawling all over them, and I ain't eating them after I done picked it up, and the flies all hung to an open spot on it. So I'm done with that one, Uh, and with the rain, a bunch of them split and busted open, and I didn't really eat any of them. They start wherever they're busted open, they'll start turning black, souring really fast in this heat. So you about got to go out there and pick them up 2 or 3 times a day if you gonna really do anything with them. So what I done is the other day I pitted a bunch. I just took them in there in a bowl and put them in, got a knife and cut the seeds out. And we put them in bags and I vacuum sealed them. So I got 2 or 3 bags down there I vacuum sealed. Uncle Sasquatch said, "Don't mind them flies. They won't eat much." It ain't what they eat that bothers me. I ain't greedy. It's what they leave behind that worries me the most.
For those of you that watch my
John Newton said, "Uncle Sasquatch, I'm looking for one of your t-shirts. The place to get Uncle Sasquatch's shirts is at unclesasquatch.logosoftware.com. He's got a thing down there you can probably copy and paste that. I don't know, but unclesasquatch.logosoftware.com.
Lucky must have got in some grease or something. She looked like she got some hair gel on it.
There ain't no telling what hurt. If there was food involved, she dove in it. I can promise you. How did we get you turned where you slam out? Brody bumped the camera a while ago or something when I wasn't looking. Too many plums can cause kidney stones. Learned that the hard way. Love them though. I've never heard that. That's a new one for me. Nancy Pierce said, "Hello, y'all's garden is looking good. It looks really horrible right now. You noticed I ain't filmed in the garden this week. It's because it's been raining and wet and the grass is taking it. But y'all, them squash plants is this tall. And we got squash running out our ears. We ain't canned. We bagged up and froze squash. We need to pull a bag of them froze ones out this week and see what they look like. See if they turn to mush or whatever. I had people told me, said if you keep them dry when you put them up, And that vacuum sealer there is tight as it vacuum seals them that they won't be bad mushy when they come out of it. We're gonna see. I'm not saying they will, they won't. I don't mind freezing some, even if they do get mushy, because she'll do squash casserole and some stuff like that it won't matter with, so it won't be like we wasted them vacuum sealing them. But I did have a bunch of people asking me about that. So I'm gonna pull some out and test them and see how it turns out. If they turn out good, we'll do a video on it and answer. And I do a lot of this stuff in shorts. Until I start getting the views back up, I'm not gonna pump out like a ton of long form videos. I just David asked, how are the peas faring?
Your bees.
Yeah, how can somebody said we was going in and out? So it's buffering again.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And I it's got
Bad trouble, but now I haven't had any trouble streaming anything. I don't know what it is about the live.
it's because it uses a lot more data upload. It's I may write Elon Musk a letter, tell him for what I'm paying, he's gonna have to fix this mess. They're gonna have to hold off on all them rockets they shoot off and fix the internet. I figured though, if you want to know the God's honest truth, all the other internet we've ever had, AT&T, whatever it was, it'd be wonderful right off the bat. The more people they allowed on it, the slower it got. And I figured these satellites would work the same way. I figured they'd get slowed down, you know. But anyway, the squash we'll do a video if they come out good, if they, however they do. But like I was saying, I'm not ready to release them. They'll orbit the earth a few times in a line before they disperse and spread out. Once they disperse, and what it is they getting a little bit higher. They eventually get high enough you can't see them. But right after launch, they're still low in the atmosphere and they reflect light really bright. And it looks like a string of bright lights going across. It's weirded a bunch of people out when they first seen them. But they do it pretty often. I've actually seen them about 2 or 3 times. I seen them coming out of the deer woods one night back in winter. I seen them one night. We were out looking at the northern lights. Was the first time I seen them. So I've seen them 2 or 3 times. I know. Texas Proud said, yeah, they outsell their bandwidth. They all do it. They just, it's too much greed. They don't know where their limit is. They just keep selling, and they realize, oh man, we can't serve it. And what it does is it absolutely cripples them because then everybody leaves it and goes and gets something else, and then they got nothing. If they would be modern and be like, you know what, we've got all on here that we can sell to right now and just maintain them accounts, let the new people go somewhere else, they would still have business for a while, but they get too greedy, like we need 2 or 3 more customers. That's like me. I got a waiting list on knives, and I could call every person on my list and collect all their money and be like, all right, I'll get you a knife, man. Then I couldn't make them all. There would be no possible way for me to make them all for however time, and then I'd be done spend all the money and be broke, and then you might not even get a knife. It'd be about the same difference. You know what I mean? So, I just take what I take money on what I know I can make this week, and that's where I stop. And I'm scared to film knife making videos. I should have got a knife out to show y'all. I finished a behemoth this week. I have not made a sheath for it yet, but that big fat blade kukri, I finished it. Look what it done to me, y'all. Look at that gash under my arm right there. Yeah, I was working on that thing and reached over it, had that blade sticking up like an idiot, reached over there. It just filleted the hide right off. Just pretty as you please. David, they tell me it's a kukri, but mine is actually designed a little bit different. It's sort of a kukri, but probably not a 100%. Hey, this is exactly what a kukri look, because I think most of the kukris have a little bit slimmer blade. This one's pretty fat. The belly of it's pretty fat. It's it's a hoss of a knife. I really don't even know if it's practical, but I had somebody sent me. I think Timothy Lorraine sent me that blade and a blank, and I made a knife out of it, and it seems to be holding up pretty good. I don't even know what the steel was, but well, Dave, he said the buffering ain't nearly as bad tonight. I did everything within my power to solve it. I don't know if there's a such thing as completely solving it. I try to turn everything in my phone off and that's using internet, and we try not to be streaming stuff everywhere else. I've got a Wi-Fi extender that pulls it down to the shop. I wanted to do, there for a while I was doing lives in the shop, and it got so bad down there I quit doing them because it kept buffering and locking up. And the last time I did one down there, it absolutely just quit. And I said, well, that ain't gonna don't mention. I seen that Stuart mower. Don't say a word. Way I like it right there.
Dad, I'm busy.
Sheldon said Elon will figure it out. He might figure it out, but he might not fix it. I'll be honest with you, the Starlink is the best thing I've ever had, because the other internet that I had, they wouldn't even no attempt doing a live. Because I'd considered it a bunch of times, and I just realized, you know what, this ain't near about worth it. Uh, this and also the other internet I had, it took me all day, sometimes a day and a half to 2 days, to upload a 30 to 45 minute video. I can upload that video in 2 hours now. So David said, don't mind the buffering, let the hair go with the hide. There ain't much I can do about it. It aggravates me, and I cause you trying to film videos, and it's like right now you down to 70 something people watching, where normally we'd be running 250. So all of my stuff has been just going down. Like it's getting to the point that it's not worth doing anymore. Uh, really, it gets to the place that it costs you more to do it and film it than you're getting out of it. So I don't know what the future holds. Things is gonna have to turn around. YouTube don't share my videos, so if you guys don't share them and help get people to see them, at some point, if it keeps going downhill, I'll probably just back off and do nothing but just in time on it. Uh, I do it for the Lord. I don't really do it for the views, so I could do that one video a week and leave it at that. It would probably increase everything. I like the fishing. I like the film. When the views get this bad, it gets to a place that ain't worth doing anymore. It takes the motivation out, I guess you'd say. I love doing it. I've been doing it for 7 years. I don't know. Now I'm to a place right now, really, that if it ain't gonna work and I can't do it, it don't even matter no more. I'm gonna enjoy my life and enjoy what I'm doing, and I'll film whatever I want to film and put it on there. But as far as me being at a place where, like, I need a video this week, I need to make a video, I'm kind of getting past that. I'm kind of getting to where, for a while it was, people are expecting a video. I need to put a video out, and there for a while I got to put a video out a day. And I don't know if that hurt the channel. I blamed it on a lot of the gardening, because I would get a lot of views on certain things, like the hunting and the fishing would get views, but anything to do with the garden or the medicinal plants wouldn't get hardly any views. And then the medicinal plants would get a lot of views way later on. Like if that video had been out a year, all of a sudden it'd take off and get a pile of views. And what it amounted to is people would get interested in the topic and start searching it. And it'd be a video I made a year ago on that topic. And because somebody on somewhere else started making videos and all of them would start trending it, and then my video would get into that algorithm. Everybody's doing medicinal plant stuff now. There's a pile of people doing it, and I just kind of backed out because I didn't want people to think, well, I'm doing it just so I can be popular and trendy. But I find a lot of them put out a lot of information that's really not 100% accurate. Because they getting it off of other people's videos is where they're getting their information, and you can't really do that. Unc said, I think a lot of people's views are down. Yeah, if you don't take your wife and get her half dressed and put her in your thumbnail, you don't get a lot of views. And I just ain't willing to do that. I done seen several channels that they've started taking their wife and putting her on there just for the views. And I mean, I want Michelle to make views. I'd rather her have her own channel and do her own thing and do it her style, her way, and do her cooking or whatever. But we're not going to be getting half dressed for the views on it, and that's what people are watching. That's what pushes views up. But that's just the way it is. I'm all right with it. I am completely at peace with it. Just it does get frustrating at times, but it don't bother me anymore. It used to bother me. Now I don't let it bother me. I see it for what it is. I do me. Uncle Sasquatch, my problem is I do the live every week, and then I do the just in time. So that's Saturday and Sunday. And if I did 3 videos, that would only allow me one more video in the whole all the way through the week. And I think what is happening is if I do black powder, it probably don't no more, but it used to would get 10,000 views. Catfishing will get a bunch of views. My griddle fishing will get a bunch of views. I go crappie fishing. I did a crappie fishing video this week. It got like 1,200 views was in. Of course, and in that battery, anytime you look like you just promoting a product, you're not going to get a lot of views. But used to, I would get at least 1,000. This and a day later has yet to break 1,000 views. So, I mean, it's that bad. And I'm at 40, almost 50,000 subscribers. Other channels my size are getting 20 and 30,000 views on everything they do, regardless of what they do. So you look at you go like, well, what is the deal? So I think the views when somebody don't watch a video, it pulls everything down and you have to reset. And I think I've reset every week because I used to my just in times would get 4 and 5,000 views, and now they'll barely get 1,000. So they pull the whole algorithm down every week, and then it'll start trying to climb back up. So, and but it's one of those things that algorithm is something you really have to play it. Like on Facebook, if I'll post 2 or 3 times a day and push it, it'll all start doing well. And then you can skip one day, like you can be working or busy and just ain't got time to film something and put it on there. And the next 2 or 3 days, you won't hardly everything will be real low and it'll start climbing. So it's that algorithm is like a machine and you got to steadily feed it till if it dies, it's like an engine. You got to recrank it, get it started again. So David said don't quit because him and Unc ain't got that much bail money. Mike, I'm probably one of the ones on my iPad watching it ain't hit the like button. So I pushed it to 64. Now we're to 67 likes. I was one of my own culprits, Mike. But I try not to pat my own self on the back too much. Brandon Cloud, I do think that I'm not gonna sit here and say that YouTube don't like preaching. Okay. I think if I had a channel for just in time and all I did was put just in time on a channel by itself, I think this channel would do way better. And it ain't because YouTube don't like preaching, it's they don't like me preaching and then fishing and then doing medicinal plants and then doing gardening and then doing bees and then, they want you to focus on one subject and say, okay, fishing is my thing and all I'm gonna do is fish. My channel would probably get 100,000 subscribers in a month. But I don't want to move just in time to a whole different channel because I'm trying to reach people that didn't come here looking for preaching. I'm trying to reach people and help people that showed up because they liked fishing or because they liked whatever else I do. So that is the ministry within what I'm doing. So what I'm waiting on, honest to God, is I'm waiting on the Lord to reach down and put his hand and say, okay, you've endured this long. Now I'm gonna help you. And when God starts helping it grow, they can't YouTube ain't got no choice but to push it. So that's what I'm sitting back like waiting on. What?
Can I talk a little bit?
Yeah, get over here in front of this stump and you talk. I tell you what, while you talk, I'll go get me another cup of coffee. Brody wants to talk. We're gonna let Brody talk. I know y'all tell him a good story. Where you gonna hey, keep it clean. We don't talk ugly and don't tell about nasty stuff. Sit down in that chair right there and sit up still. Look at that camera and tell them a story or something.
One thing I'm gonna tell
Oh, wow, so they hear you.
one thing I'm gonna tell y'all is to get that subscribe button, throw it in the grind.
How silly.
You grind that subscribe button. I haven't been much riding my 4-wheeler.
Can't been riding your 4-wheeler much.
Yeah, because it's out of gas. It may leak. It ran out.
It's out of gas again. Well, that's probably why you ain't been riding it.
What?
But a second ago, that puppy was trying to get a bone.
Yeah, he's been chasing bugs. He don't like bugs.
But you do that over there.
What you doing?
I'm gonna be Brody for a little bit while he's me. I don't swing as high as he does, innit?
I had to move the camera over there so you can sit in your hammock and talk.
I'll liable to go to sleep on him if I stayed over here.
Anyway,
What else you gonna tell them?
don't look at me like
You gonna tell them you've been being mean? See?
Hey, you
See?
behave. He got mighty brave about this hitting business. I had to bring him down a peg or two.
Mr. David Russian wants to know if you ever got that garfish. Did
We
you?
ain't mastered gar fishing. You gonna learn to live scope fish? You ain't on talk.
anyway.
What are we gonna fish for at Tom Beacon next week?
Alligators.
Hey, next week we get to apply for alligator tags. Hey, I need to talk for a second. Can I have my chair?
No.
I got something on my mind and on my heart.
And stand up and do it.
He told me to stand up and tell it.
Yeah, you sit here. I'm gonna go in.
You going in?
Yeah.
Oh, Brody's done run mama off.
Right.
All right, y'all. Look, here in Mississippi, alligator season opens up this coming week. The June the 1st through June the 12th, you apply for alligator tags. you have to have an alligator hunting license to go. You apply and then they'll draw within like a month. I think over in July or sometime they'll hit 1st of July or something, they'll draw. And they don't issue a lot of them. So if you don't get drawed, it don't cost you anything. If you get drawed, you got to buy the tags to go alligator hunting. So my proposition is if any of y'all want to go alligator hunting and you get a tag and you don't have a means of going, I got a boat. We'll go, because I'll put in for tags, but I've applied for gator tags the last 2 years. Now this has to be in Mississippi. There's several different areas. I don't care where you get drawn, where you want to go alligator hunting at. We'll hook to the new John boat and we'll go gator hunting. That boat's big enough to put a gator in. If I can get a tag or no, I got to try. I had somebody last year that called me and they had a tag and was gonna go, and then all of a sudden I ain't heard nothing outside of them since then. I have not seen them come in on another video or anything. And I was waiting on them to contact me. I had a trip lined up for the quadrant that they said that they had drawn a tag in, and I don't know what happened. I really don't. I don't know if I said something they didn't like and they got mad at me. And I mean, which that's subject to happen.
Probably alligator.
But if some of y'all want to go, if you want to put in for a tag and you get drawn, holler at me and I'll get the boat. We'll go. I got lights on it. I want to do a video forging a spear to dispatch them with, but now you can dispatch them with a bang stick or a 410 shotgun. They don't allow us to use a 22 rifle. And this is public water tags. I don't know anything about the private land tags. The private land tags are open and you can get them, but I don't have private land myself that I can hunt them on. I have private land I can access, but I hadn't looked into it to see if I have to own the land or not. So
Some of y'all better come in and have it. Y'all that like alligators better come in if y'all like alligators. Or you like alligators. Well, I'm both not. I'm a big fan of alligators.
tripod is here, fab. So the next question, while we on the topic of fishing and all that stuff, and I don't know how much of that I was talking about cut out. I ain't getting a lot of comments, so I don't know if it went down or what. Maybe buffering too bad. The next thing, I bought this boat, y'all, and y'all know I bought it as is. The only thing I have added to it is some lights on the top. So it had live scope on it when I bought it. I've owned this boat a month, and I ain't touched the live scope. I have not even turned it on till last week. I turned it on one day just to see what it looked like and what it would, what was on it. I didn't know nothing about it. And I held off because I knew this live scope is a huge controversial thing. I mean, there's people that just absolutely hate it. And I knew that when I started fishing with it, it would cost me some viewers. I knew there was some people that it's cheating and you ought not fish with that, and they're gonna leave. And so I decided, you know what, I'm okay with that. If they want to go, let them go, because it's on a boat that I bought, and I think personally that I would be an idiot to not use it. I mean, I think that's just as plain as I can put that. I want to know what y'all's opinion is on it. What does some of y'all think about it? What's the ins and outs? Why is it so controversial? You don't hear people throwing out that much hate over cell cameras, over deer cameras in general, over new rifles with scopes on them, over all the other stuff. I mean, They watch people that fish with hoop nets and just get loads of fish that way. What?
You fly into the alligator hole right there.
And so what is the controversy? What is the reason that it upsets people so much? You know, I mean, I honestly understand that if you don't like it and you don't want to fish it that way, you don't buy it. I understand that. But why does it upset people that somebody else is using? Now, I'm not talking about tournament fishing. I can see where that alters tournament fishing, where it does away with one style of fishing the other. That's a whole different thing. We talking about just people going fishing on their own time for their own reason. Rhonda said alligator link sausage is good. We want to. I want to cook alligator. You can catch two alligators too when you do the alligator season, and one can be a big one over a certain amount of feet, and then one can be a small one under a certain number of feet. So the small one, if I get one, I want to round up my buddies from picking and grilling, and I want to get them with their cookers and video with them, and let's cook the whole thing, smoke it all in one go. So outside the pulpit, John said, because they ain't got one. I think you're exactly right. Huckleberry, you're exactly right. And I'm gonna be honest with you. When you start talking about, hey, I'm gonna sit here and stare at this screen all day and chase one fish around the lake and do, I'm not interested in that. That ain't what I'm gonna go do. I'll be honest with y'all. I've not been a huge big water fisherman. I grew up fishing this swamp. I know how to fish this swamp. I'll always fish this swamp. You'll never see me in this swamp with live scope. I mean, you just can't. That boat ain't going there. I'm not putting it on any other boats that I have. I'll fish in a canoe, so there'll be plenty of fishing with me that don't incorporate that. So, I mean, that solves that question right there. I'm still gonna do the griddle fishing from the bank. I'm gonna do the canoe fishing where there ain't nothing but a pole. I'm gonna do all the stuff I've always done. But me not knowing a lot about lakes, I hadn't had big boats and fished on lakes but about the last 6 or 7 years. And I have not learned those lakes. I did not grow up fishing these lakes. I don't know where everything's at. So with the electronics that I have, I struggle to know what to do with them, how to understand, how to find stuff, how to find fish with them. And that was not, hey, I wasn't a good fisherman. It's I didn't understand where the fish was in this lake, and I didn't understand how to run these electronics. So they were really on my boat for nothing but, hey, the water's this deep and the water's this temperature, and that's all I knew. Honest to God. And I would just go fish blind, and I would come home day after day with just a few fish. Every now and then I'd get lucky and happen up on them, and I'd catch them. In that swamp down there, I knew where to go fish, how to fish it, so I was successful there. So with this tool, I can look and see, there's brush right here. Yeah, there's fish on it. I can stop and fish it any way I want to, whether I want to sit there and look at my bait. I mean, if I want to do that, I will. But more than likely, I want to pitch jigs and cast to them is going to be my style of fishing. Just like I've always fished, I stand there and pitch that jig out there with a short rod. That's the way I want to fish. So really, if I can find that brush top and go, them crappies right over there, I can hit the spot lock, stop. I ain't even got to look at the screen no more. I can know that brush top's right yonder and sit there and fish it. But I wanted to ask and see what a lot of the opinions and what of the other stuff is.
I'm talking
Stuart, I don't think it's about the well off, because here's the deal now. When you buy a boat, most everybody's financing everything. People have to be well off to buy a used boat
Yeah, people.
and pay for it. if you're financing a boat, you can finance the boat with the live scope on it. Just like I went and bought that buggy. I probably didn't have the money to go buy an old buggy and buy a winch to put on that buggy, but I could finance that buggy with a winch and all already on. So I really think that in a way, now as far as you going, hang on, as far as you going and adding it to an old boat that you've had for 40 years, maybe. But it's all about, does a person really like to fish, or do they just fish 2 or 3 times a year? If you fish a lot, so here's the thing. When you start talking about the price of it, well, factor in this. What's the price of a new rifle with a new scope? A good scope now is $1,200. I would not put a scope on any rifle that was less than $800. I just wouldn't. It won't hold up. It won't handle the recoil. It just won't work. And yeah, you can buy a scope for $200 or $300. And there's occasionally where people say, "Man, I got one I didn't pay but $250 for, and I've had it." But if you go buy a new one today and put it on a high-powered rifle, your chances of getting a good one at $250 to $300 is rare. If you want to know when I buy this scope, it's going to be a good one and it's going to handle the recoil, and I'm going to be able to see in low light. You're looking at 800 or better. Then a rifle is 12. So you got $3,000 in a hunting rifle, and this is for the average whitetail guy. We don't even bat an eye at that. Game cameras for deer hunting are $150 on an average, $200, something like that. We don't bat an eye at that. Feeders for deer, you're looking at $150 for a good feeder with a, So when you start factoring on it, this is one thing that's about $2,000 to catch fish. I really don't see the price being the main issue. It may be in people's minds, but if you really stop and think about it, it's really not. Or it ain't, in my opinion. Let me put it that way. Brody. He likes showing out and watching himself.
I'm gonna sit right here.
No, get in that chair.
I'll get in that chair.
Huckleberry, I 100% agree. A rifle is only as good as what you can see out of it. That's true. My daddy preached to me, son, spend more money on the scope than you do the rifle. He said, because if you can't see it, you can't shoot at it. And that's true. David Rushing said, "Hey, the live link don't make the fish bite, just shows you where you throw your bait." We sit there the other day, and I literally watched a big old fish come up there and smell of a live minnow and just looked like he licked it and turn around and swim off. I mean, they wasn't a thing I could do. I jiggled it up and down. I moved it, out of them 100 fish down there, you hoping one of them hungry at the moment. You can't make them bite. Yeah, Dave, the bigger monitor you buy, the more it's gonna cost you. I mean, it's like anything else, the sky's the limit. Uh, when you start talking about people's hobbies and what they'll spend on it, so I've had people say, "Oh, well, it's cheating, it's a new technology." Well, when you start looking at fishing, if you do anything aside weaving you a string out of natural grass and chipping you a hook out of bone and digging for some bait somewhere out there and and taking you a sharpened up rock and hulling out you a log to make you a canoe, you're pretty well using technology from some era along the way. I mean, every bit of it. So at what point do you say, okay, no more technology? You know, this is this is a limit. It like hunting. You know, I've had people that, oh well, if you hunt with a compound bow, that's cheating, or if you hunt with a crossbow, that's cheating, or if you got a this, you cheating. If you do hunt in a shooting house, that's cheating. Well, really, if you do anything outside of clubbing them with a club or a big rock, you're using technology. I mean, when a bow was first designed back in the Neanderthal days, that was high technology for that day, you know. So did they still do sit in their caves and go, oh, he's cheating. He got a string on that still. That's cheating. That's what it's just topics that's, you know, and I held off on this because I knew I was like, this is gonna really be, you know, I knew some people were gonna get mad and go the other way, and I figure they will, but Ron said a friend of ours has a 20-inch live scope and it costs $12,000 just for the screen. See, there's no way I would do that. I ain't mad at somebody else for doing it, but there's no way I could do that. Really, they probably wouldn't no way like me putting it on a boat that I already had, me go and do that. But see, I bought a boat with it on there, so it 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 will allow you to be more successful. There's no doubt about that. I mean, that is the reason for buying it. But at the time, so did a depth finder. So did the, you know, the down scan imaging when it first come out. Oh, you can see the brush top down there. Now you can find out right where it's at. So I don't know. I don't really see where a lot of it's different. I do say, well, you know, if you spend all day chasing one fish around here, there, and yonder, and you just stare at that all day, that it's going to rob you of a lot of enjoyment of on the water. But who am I to tell somebody else? Well, if that's what they want to do, at least they're not on the couch in there eating tater chips, watching TV all day. You know, I mean, at least they are on the water staring at a screen. So you know, we shoot our own selves in the foot sometimes, getting aggravated about the way somebody else does something, but then we'll turn around and well, at least they're not on drugs out here stealing catalytic converters from somebody. That they do have a hobby that they're out doing whatever they want to do. And I know people worry about, well, they gonna seine the lake, they gonna catch every fish late. From the people that I have talked to, that once you've got a live scope and you know, hey, I can kind of, I can pretty well catch fish when I want to. Most of them guys are putting more bigger fish back in the lake. Uh, there's several of them that I've talked to. They'll tell you that, hey, I want to eat the 10-inch to 12-inch crappie. And if I catch one 16 inches, 14 inches, I'm going to put them big ones back in the lake for them genetics. So they'll keep growing and making big ones. Take a picture of it, hold it up, look at what I caught, put it back. And that's probably going to be my approach. I do want to have a big 2 pound plus crappie mounted at some point. I want to get a bowfin mounted. I don't have any fish mounts in my house. And I think, you know, I want a big griddle mounted, and I do want a crappie mounted. So at some point I keep one like that, but I I really ain't one of them. I want to sing the lake out. And I really ain't one that I'm gonna bring a limit home every time I go either. Probably. If I enjoy fishing and I'm not planning on having a fish fry, same way with catfish. Y'all have watched me in videos put giant catfish back in the water after I caught them and release them. I, I'm not one to just bring home every fish I catch because I caught it. Not if I'm doing it just for a video. Now, if I'm planning on having a fish fry next week, that's a whole different story. And I think most people are that way. John Culpepper, you exactly right. Alicia, we may have to come down that way and stay at some of them campgrounds. Samuel Pruitt said cheating is using a phone to call the fish or dynamite. And there's a lot of folks that do that. I know Claude Ledbetter, he chunked that stick of dynamite out there with a game warden in the boat with him. Yeah, Rhonda, I told a guy there's like, well, when I posted the first video on Facebook of me with it, and somebody said, well, I knew modern technology was going to get you. And I was like, man, all of my money is digital. I don't even tote cash anymore. Everything's on a card. I pay at the pump. I even got an iPhone I use every day. And I think that got them because they didn't say nothing else. I mean, an iPhone is as modern a technology as they are, and we all sitting here with one of them. If not an iPhone, an Android, or whatever, but a smartphone, you get what I'm saying? So, I mean, we're forced into a world of modern technology, whether we like it or not. I mean, most of us, we like to go back and do some old school stuff. And I'm going to tell y'all what I'm going to do. I'm going to go cut me a bamboo cane pole and I'm going to tie me a line to it and I'm going to use it with my live scoop. I'm going to use my bamboo cane pole, big long one, to catch them fish. I'll be up there with modern live scoop and an old school pole. That ought to appeal to everybody right there. Yeah, John Colberry said, you going to argue or fish? Dave, I imagine that's right. With a tournament, and I could see it causing a problem with a tournament. I mean, I'll tell you what I think they ought to do for right now, at least until everybody's sort of got it, is have tournament like divide your bass fishing tournaments up and do two tournaments. This is for the people that don't fish live scope. This tournament's got this amount of prestige to it. Now we got a tournament over here for live scope only. Everybody in this tournament is going to be fishing live scope. And that would be my solution to solving that if I was running them tournaments. And I think it would work out better for all the people involved in that. Now I don't know what it costs to put another tournament on, so Huckleberry said he can't get a landline anymore, and I'll tell you why. We can ride down our county roads and all them phone wires. It used to be that was a big, heavy black one hanging up there. They broke and laying in a ditch in several places where people's hit the light poles or trees fell on it. The power company will come through and fix the power wires, but all them phone lines are still broke. So yeah, Huckleberry, my phone's in my pocket every step, and I keep it on silent because mine goes off a lot. I for whatever reason I left my phone number on my Facebook, and everybody that gets on there that can go look at my about info finds my phone number. They want to call and talk, and I love to talk. That's the problem. It ain't them. It's that I like to talk too. And every day I spend about 2 of my hours of my day or better, sometimes more than that, on the phone. I got off the lawnmower today and I had 4 missed calls, and I went and sat down and called, I think 2 or 3 of them back, and I got talked to some of them. And it takes a lot of time, but now my curse is I like to talk. I really enjoy it. Let me get back my other chair. It's actually more comfortable than this. And y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, it is steaming hot out here. I don't know if y'all can tell how shiny looking I am. I'm about sweating out here. And drinking coffee just like an idiot. I mean, just ain't real bright. Now, see, Uncle Sasquatch, when you start talking about that 1.477 megabytes, when you get 500 megabytes of fiber, see, you talking Greek to me. I'm lost on all. He's more up to date than we thought he was, y'all. Yeah, Huckleberry, just May down here. And June coming up fast. Wish I was on the water somewhere. Hey, I want to tell y'all something else. We was on Kemper Lake yesterday live scoping them crappie. And we was sitting there looking at that brush top, had that jig off down in there, just bouncing it around, watching them fish come up there and smell of it swim off. That's what they was doing. We were struggling to get them to bite there for a while. And there was 5 of the biggest catfish come swimming up there and swim right up in the edge of that brush pile. Crappie kind of scattered. Some of them, they come right back. I figured them catfish looked like one of them might have got him, one of them, but I don't think they feed on them crappie. I think they like brim better than crappie. But that lake got some good crappie in there. And I think we're going to plan a trip where we go to Kemper Lake, go in the evening and brim fish, and use them brim for cut bait or live bait on jugs, because you can now jug fish that lake at night. And I'd get to use all my lights. I think that'd be a good lake to go up there and jug fish. Them bugs is about to drive me nuts. I mean, I seen them. They some good sized fish up there in that lake. Yeah, Unc, I knew you used to do that for a living. Unc retired from the phone company. Somebody asked me the other day what Unc did for a living. I said, well, he retired from the phone company. That bug right there was under my shirt. I knew he was. I felt him crawling, but I didn't want to hike it up too high. Blind, y'all. Yeah, Stuart Monroe, I would agree that with a school tournament that you shouldn't allow it because of kids that can't afford it. When grown adults, I think the answer to tournament fishing would be to have 2 tournaments. Like with the Bassmasters, they ought to have an old school tournament, call it the Bassmasters old school tournament or whatever, and have no live scope in it for those guys that want to fish that way, and let them test their knowledge versus these younger guys that technology is their thing. I'm gonna tell y'all something else I found out about operating it. The live scope is a huge challenge. Just cause you buy it don't mean you can be successful with it, because you've got to operate the live scope with one hand. Some people's got it on a trolling motor where they can operate it, but that would present a whole nother challenge for me, because you got to hold the boat still. You got to have total boat control to keep that boat pointed where you want it pointed to fish and look at what you're trying to look at. Then you got to keep that transducer pointed at the fish, and you've got to operate a fishing pole all at the same time. And it takes a lot more doing with the wind blowing and all than you realize. I found that out in 2 days of being just sitting beside somebody else doing it that knows what they're doing. And I'm gonna tell you, we caught a lot of fish yesterday. I don't think I could go by myself right now and do as well as we did. I don't think I might could. I don't know. But there's some effort involved in you. So you look at these young guys that's being successful with the bass tournaments, and especially when them fish are spawning and up in shallow water, that they got a whole. They're talented, but it's a whole different skill set. It's not that, hey, that's cheating. It's just that they've learned a different set of skills than what the old school guys had learned, because I, it's a challenge. But I would be for tournament fishing. It should be divided. I think that would be a solid solution to the controversy with the tournament side of it. Uncle said he's a professional grumpy man. Are you owning that, Unc? You just playing grumpy old man? You might have to sit down and watch Grumpy Old Men the movie. And that way you get to feel on how I need that. Them two old fellas tickled me in that movie fighting over over every little thing. Over they putting fish in each other's car and breaking their fishing poles. I laugh at them two. I've watched that movie several times. Both of them, there's two of them, grumpy old men and grumpier old men. I've laughed. Oh, ho, me. So y'all, did I need to go back? Cole Dawson said, watch it from Louisiana, but in Chicago. Stay tuned in. Thank you. I'm going back to. So back to the alligators. Any of y'all that's in Mississippi interested in alligator hunt, apply for a tag. Even if you ain't got a boat. If you get a tag, you just got to be in the boat when we go hunt. Huckleberry said, what was for supper? We had breakfast. We had eggs and bacon and biscuits and jelly and coffee. Hey, you gonna pick them toys up? You promised me you was gonna pick them up when you got through.
I'll have a
You'll pick them up next week sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
guess when it's gonna get going.
Nothing. You can't talk about them on live. They'll ban us. Reckon?
Is gonna take them.
Sparkles. Hey, we lost what was her name? Ocean Homestead. Jennifer Ocean Homestead. She ain't been on here last week, so to talk about Sparkles, the monster. If you see this later, Jennifer, Brody's asking about the Sparkles, the monster. Local Life Outdoors. The Brim Fishing Machine. That man been tearing them up on the little PD River. I watched him other day. I didn't comment on it because I watched it on TV. He got on them brim, wore 'em out. Always does. Our water system's here, like my creek. Right now, it's out of the banks, flooded. I love to fish my swamp, y'all, but you hadn't seen me fishing a lot because the water stays messed up. After they tore all the beaver dams out, it's very rare that water is in good fishing condition. Used to, when I grew up fishing it, there were a lot of beaver dams in it, and it would only mess up for a little while till it dropped down below that beaver dam, and then it would slow down, and man, we could fish, and we had fish. But now they decided that it was better to tear all the dams out, drain the swamp, and now that it don't keep enough water. Once it'll go from flood to too low to get a boat up and down it in a week's time. But right now it is out of the banks. Butterfly Farms, they just got home from supper. Good to see everybody. Dowie Smith said, how are the bees? Somebody earlier asked about the bees, and I never did get to talk about the bees. What you gonna say? Look, I'll fix that. Fix the chair back where it was at. Don't move the chair. That's good right there. Now what? Just sit down there.
So somebody will comment about the life. That's what I want to tell today. And
well, while they getting them comments together, let me answer the bees. Today we added the second box to the bees. I didn't film it. Brother Dempsey come by. We opened it up. Everything looks good. They've slowed down on eating the sugar water I've been putting, so I'm probably gonna stop feeding the sugar water for now for a while. We added the second box today. Everything is growing and looking good. They're not growing as full or as fast as we would like, but they're doing well. We've got a few things starting to bloom again. My mom's got some zinnias blooming. We've got there's some flowers in the yard that's blooming. My mimosa trees are bloomed out. So we not really, we're past the main flow of everything busting off and there being blooms on everything around. We kind of passed all that here. So that is why I had a lot of people ask me, well, why are you feeding them? Well, I started a new hive in a new area, transported them here. They didn't know where to find food, and we was trying to give them a boost, help them get started growing good, while it's hot weather. So probably for the next 2 months, I'm just gonna let them ride. I ain't gonna do nothing, but I may go look at them occasionally they're doing. But we did add the second box. Hopefully before winter, I can add the third box at some point and put the queen separator in there. That is my goal, but I don't know. We're gonna just see. So,
Can I talk a little more?
David Russian, I have not pulled my traps, but I don't have any set. I left them down there with the intentions that I was gonna go back, but it started raining and we had a lot of I've had a lot going on, and it wound up instead of being a couple of weeks before I went back. Now it's been a month or so since I've been down there. I've got to go back down there and get back on my trapping, and I figure at some point, midsummer, middle of June, I'm gonna try to get back down there and knock the rest of what I got to knock out in that. I'm gonna really have to watch for the cottonmouths. So it'll be a little different game when I go this time. Probably start the year. I'm probably gonna take some tannerite and just blow some dams. Uh, we'll figure some stuff out, but it's mainly about getting water off the property. I had a chance to have bought a thermal scope for a rifle at a good price, but I had just bought a boat and emptied all the money that I had saved up. So I had to pass on that.
I talk a little bit. And
Yeah.
some of y'all better comment about the Kraken.
The crack.
It's a squid, by the way.
Oh.
Or the colossal squid. Well, make sure to comment about the Kraken and the Leviathan. I really want to.
Mike, y'all be safe driving.
I really want y'all to comment about it. But I'll be happy and I won't tell y'all about that anymore. Anyway.
Local life, them Warrior one-man boats, are they gonna try to compete with the creek boats that are being pushed right now? I tried to get one of them creek boats. They didn't want to talk to me. Brody, pick them toys up. You just about broke that one. Pick them up. So you break them now. You liked to stepped on that and broke his toe and the track hoe. You did break that track hoe, didn't you? So anyway, I just wonder if them guys is trying to sail outside of North Carolina because they ain't nowhere down around this way to buy any of them boats. I would like to have one, but I may just run my old canoe with a trolling motor on it. Seems like the most logical thing to do. I think I'm gonna try to figure out a way to mount my trolling motor in the back on. The problem is I don't want to destroy that trolling motor. I could rig it up, take the head off, and rig me some wires on it, but I'd have to dismantle the throttle part to get it up there to where I could run it. But I use it on my John boat occasionally when the water's low to get in that swamp. So yeah, Samuel, I seen y'all got one, but y'all don't fish. I don't know why they give him one. I never understood trying to sell fishing boats by giving one to somebody that don't even fish.
Hey, Dad, this is my life now.
Not really.
That is my life. Like, you better find a comment that says the 2 months I said about. Well, and it's also squid.
David Rush has got a new scope for his Defender 2000 556. Night, white, hot, black, hot, and infrared. Love it.
So anyway, I have one thing to say. Y'all might get interested. Because I really like Star Wars and I got a new set. And I have a bunch of stormtroopers.
You like Star Wars?
Yeah, I have 4 and 10. I think I have 15 stormtroopers.
All Lego.
Yeah.
And you dismantled all your stuff that you put together and you can't even play with it now. It's all in a bucket. We'll put them expensive things. I was gonna buy him for his birthday one of them big starships. They about $100 and something. But every time we've bought him a little one, he'll put it together and it'll last about a week. And he dismantles his scared. And I said, no, I ain't buying one of them expensive ones for it to wind up the bucket. So that's out.
If you do, I will never do that ever again. I'll put
No, I told you not to take them other ones apart, and you did. So that ended that. This is not a hey, we'll get it if you won't tear it apart. That's over with.
I won't tear it apart.
You missed out on that opportunity. You didn't listen the first time.
Give me
No,
please.
no,
Please.
because you done showed me that you can't leave them together.
I will leave them.
You can't. You did
I
not.
left one together.
Where?
A little one.
Because you couldn't get it apart.
No.
What I should have done was when he got them together is dipped it in super glue and had to solve that.
Well, if you get a big, I won't do it again.
How'd we go from talking about fishing to Star Wars?
I don't know. But anyway, you better give me one of those stars.
No, I ain't better do nothing.
You better.
No.
Please. I
No.
want one for my birthday.
We're gonna buy you a new hammock and a new rocking chair for your birthday. You've got more use out of that hammock back there than you have anything we own.
No.
He bought one that that's been a good hammock. That was about a $10 hammock from Amazon. That joker has held up for I don't know how long.
But you're still getting me a star. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Ain't happening.
no.
Ain't buying no more Legos.
I never.
Legos just scattered all over the house, all over the yard. I'm gonna get you a stick and a roll of tape, and you can play with it.
You better give me one.
How come I ain't seen you ride that bicycle recently without them training wheels? What happened to that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think one time I was upright.
No, you didn't wreck it.
Well,
I think you just got lazy.
that was weird.
All right, let's get on to something else.
Anyway, you better give me a Lego.
You gonna fish next week while we're at Tom Bigman?
Yeah.
What we gonna fish for?
Alligator.
We're not fishing for alligators. It ain't season. Seriously, what we gonna fish for?
Star.
Gar?
Mhm.
We're gonna be on that gar kick again.
Mhm.
Why we gotta have gar? Why we can't catch something like catfish and crappie and stuff that we can catch? I can't catch gar.
Anyway, you better give me one of these starships.
John, you put your boat in the shop, got it fixed, put my boat in the shop, got it fixed, and then tore up my running truck. What is these bugs running around on me? Mine, last week my battery went out on my pickup. I knew that I had been having to charge it, and I thought, well, something is draining my battery because that battery, I thought it was just a little over a year old. I'm like, that battery ain't 2 years old. And I looked, I said, well, I must have not have bought the gold the last time I was in there. I buy them at AutoZone, or I used to. Well, that gold didn't last. It was a gold battery. So I'd been jumping it. Well, I'd been charging it up ever so. It'd last about 2 days, and I'd charge it with a trickle charger. And then it got to where every time I went to get in it, it was dead, and I was having about to jump it off, but I could drive it to town, get out of it, do what I was gonna do, get back in it, and come home, it would crank up. Well, the other day I went to meet my buddy over there to go fishing, and I carried a cooler to put live bait in, live fish in to put in the pond, and then I carried a cooler to put the fish in on ice in. So when I got over there, he was like, "Oh, you left your windows down. You better let them roll them up." I went over there to roll my windows up. It wouldn't even roll my windows up. So the battery wouldn't charge up going over there. So concerned then is it the alternator or whatever? Put a new battery in there, and the battery has been in there 3 days now, and it's still hot. So apparently, it was the battery for sure. Which I knew that battery was dead, but I didn't know if the truck killed it or what. So it's been a ordeal. I wasn't able to take my boat fishing because I was scared to go anywhere with the battery dead like that. So we got all that straightened out. So let me tell y'all something else. The pond I put them crappie in, I filmed, if y'all watched that video, at the end of that video, there's about a 20-something pound out in that pond. And I filmed him swim right by me. I knew he was acting a little weird that day. He was up shallow. One of them crappie turned up sideways, and I thought he'd eat it. He didn't. Well, 2 days later, Friday, that was Wednesday, I put them in there. Friday morning, the out was dead. The out was floating in the pond. Don't know what happened to it. Well, there was some fish floating. Well, we assumed that the other fish floating was the fish I'd just put in there. That hey, they didn't make it. We got to looking, and there was 8 brim dead floating, and they were brim that was already in that pond. We don't know what killed them. There was 3 of the crappie that I just put in there floating dead. So we fed the fish. I tried to catch a couple brim. I never could get a brim to bite a hook. They wasn't that aggressive, but we put some feed out. The brim finally come up and eat. A bunch of them did. They wouldn't no brim up gulping at the top of the water like they were gasping for air or anything. So, y'all, I don't know what happened to that out and to the brim in there. Anybody got any suggestions? We don't think there was anything we know of got washed into the pond. Nothing we know of was poured in it. I mean, there could have been something got in there, but nothing that we know of. So I don't know. Anybody got any ideas? Well, tripod, if it turned over, there's a pile of brim in there. We only lost 8 out of there's thousands of them in there. I know there's thousands of brim in there. There's a bunch of turtles in it. Really, I think that, and there's a bunch of bass in there. We didn't see any dead bass, not one dead bass nowhere, and it's got a lot of bass in it. So I don't know. I'm not sure it turned over, but I can't say that it didn't. You know, I don't know.
I probably know the problem.
Kenneth Michael, good evening.
I know the problem how the fish died.
Brandon, we got to get learned how to bow fish. Brody, we've got a bow that Thor give Brody back, a Genesis bow, and I have not. We hadn't got it out and shot it. The last time, last fall, when I was shooting some, we got it out, and Brody couldn't pull it back. So maybe by this fall, if Brody will start eating some peas and cornbread, he'll be where he can pull it back this coming fall. We may can start shooting some. If Brody ever gets where he can pull a bow back and shoot one, yeah, I'm gonna start bow fishing, but right now I can't drive the boat and bow fish. So I hadn't took it. I ain't even had it out at night since I put the lights and all on there. But I have got everything I think right now squared away. So we'll figure out some stuff this next coming week at Tom Bigby. We'll be up there for several days. I have a boat full of girls. My wife's sister, her girls from Texas will be over here. So we're gonna take all them out, let them fish, play, whatever they want to do. It'll be a lot, and I'm gonna take my dad-in-law. I want to take my dad-in-law and let him catch some crappie somewhere on some of them tops if I can find them and make the live scope work for me. I've done it in a boat with somebody that knew how to operate it, but that don't mean I can take it and go be successful. So, but yeah, if we get where we could see some fish, I'll find out how my setup's gonna work because I'm running a light bar on the top. I don't have lights down low. So I may eventually add some lights down there for temporary means to do that. We'll just have to see. And I may could run a trolling motor up there with a remote and both fish myself. I don't know. We'll have to figure all of that out and see what's possible. Brody, guess who's on? Here's Jennifer Ocean. Brody was asking about sparkles a while ago. Lily Wells said, "What is a overturned pond?" Somebody explain this better than I? Because I'm not 100% on the way you explain. All I know is something happens to the oxygen level in this pond, and the algae blooms sometimes come. But anyway, all the fish in it'll die. Like there's a lack of oxygen in the pond, and they call it the pond turning over. But somebody in here can explain this better than I can. Oh, no, you can't.
A snake bit him. A venomous snake bit him. Could that be possible?
Brandon, I don't know if you can use a spear or not. Oh, I really ain't looked into that. I've looked into a lot of our laws, especially to do with the stuff that I'm doing right now, like catfishing. We can't run but 100 hooks, regardless of where you put them. Free floating jugs can't have more than 2 hooks on a free floating device. It's a 2 hook limit, and you can only have 25 jugs per person. A boat can only have like 50 is a max. So, like, if you got 3 people in the boat, you can't have 75 jugs out. You're limited. I think it may be less than 50. I think you can have 50 though. I think that's a max for one vessel. So, yeah, I've read up on some laws, but I don't know about a spear. That'd be a new one. I know you can spear flounder and stuff like that on the coast with saltwater. So I don't know how that would apply to fresh water off of a boat. I would have to do some digging. Tripod said it's where the water in the pond flips. It will deplete the oxygen in the water. I figured it had it. I've heard something about the water at the bottom comes to the top water goes down. I don't know. So I'm not 100% sure on the best way to explain it. I know the oxygen leaves the water and the fish start dying, but usually when a pond turns over, you start seeing fish up at the top gulping fire like your minnows do in a bucket when they start dying. So the way you solve that or save some of the fish, usually you don't really save all of them. People start pulling a bunch of fish out and putting them somewhere else and trying to get as many fish as they can out of it. And they'll start running aerators or pumps to circulate the water to create oxygen, stuff like that to remedy. And I've got a pretty good sized pump, but with all the fresh water we've had, we don't think that it's a lack of oxygen. Uh, but like I said, I don't know. And the last 2 days, there's not been any more fish died. So, or not that I've heard of anyway. Brody Jennifer said, I found a few toys in my mailbox from Mr. Sparkles he found laying around. I think Brody needs to make sure his room is clean and the toys are put away every night before he goes to bed. Sparkle's been taking your toys off. You ain't even missed them, have you? He's got so many, it'd be a blessing if Sparkles had took about half of them off. Local Life explains it like this. He said, when the temperature change in the fall and sometimes spring, surface water cools, becomes denser, and sinks. This causes the entire pond to mix, bringing bottom water to the top. David, there is a slight runoff into the pond and it comes out of a cutover. And I wondered, did they fly over and spray something in this cutover over here? Oh, it's not very big. So it's not but about 4 or 5 acres. So it's really not enough that you would pay somebody with a plane to come in and spray a whole cutover like they do. So I don't know. If they did that, we don't know they done it. So I really don't know what happened. I knew Tripod, I knew I didn't have a good explanation. I mean, I knew oxygen left the water. So I mean, it's a little difficult to explain. I've just always heard, well, the pond turned over, and you just know, well, if the pond turns over, the fish is gonna die. And we run with it. So to have a scientific, y'all, these bugs steadily getting in my shirt.
Yeah, killing them.
Yeah, well, I don't like them crawling around in my clothing. I love the outdoors, but I ain't fond of all these bugs. That's why I really like wintertime pretty good, because I don't like flies. Jennifer said the foreclosed house I bought came with an in the ground pool that was neglected for 2 years. It had tons of tadpoles in it, and in the fall, and now I'm seeing frogs come out from over the tarp cover, under the tarp. John said tadpoles are good fish bait. I tell you what I'd do with that pond. I mean that pool. I tell you right now, because I raised a daughter, and we used to have to buy them blow up pools, and we had several top of the ground pools out here that you put up. It cost you a couple of $100 to fill them up, such as that. And they'd always promised me, "Oh, we're gonna take care of it. We're gonna keep it clean." I was like, "Well, when it turns green, I'm done with it." Well, every year about a month in, it turned green. I mean, green as a gold. And you'd have to buy a bunch of expensive stuff to clean that pool. I found out you could go to Walmart and for less than $5, you could buy you a gallon of bleach, Clorox. And you could walk around the edge of that pool and glug, 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 glug. You didn't have to put a gallon in it now. I mean, hey, I probably poured a couple of cupfuls in it. Before the day was over, that pool would be just as clear. At least by the next day, it'd start clearing up. Run a filter in there, it'd get all that green mess out. Hey, everybody, oh, I wouldn't swim in that. Well, that's what they use to fix your drinking water. I mean, chlorine and Clorox, about the same thing, ain't it? If you start looking at it,
How do snakes been?
we swim in it and did none of us die, and our hair didn't turn white. So, I didn't swim in it no whole lot. I don't like pools. I'd rather swim in the creek. Jennifer said, Rhonda said she Googled it. Jennifer said, I'm guessing the old pool water must not be too bad, but there's dead rodents in there. Yeah, the bleach ain't going to get the rodents out now. You're going to have to dip them out. Yeah. Brandon said he sent me a link. I seen that pop up there, the text message, that they make a crossbow for fishing now. I really wanted to use a bow that I made, like a traditional style bow, but I don't know. We'll have to see how all of this works. I don't know really a whole lot about the bow fishing. I know there's some guys over there that done a lot of it. Uh, I don't have a. You got to have a bow that don't shoot very hard. Brody, shut the door. He goes over and leaves, stands over that door wide open. So Rhonda, you Googled it. You got to copy and paste it faster than typing that out.
I have the ultimate weapon.
Jennifer said she was gonna pump it out. She got a free flowing pool. She can pump it back in and be salt water. That's probably the way to go. Sounds like you got it under control. Tripod, I've got a couple of old bows, but they heavy pound. They them old PSEs and they shoot way too hard to bow fish with. Now you can use them to gator hunt. You can legally shoot alligators with a bow here, I think. So you just before you kill it, the deal is you can snag one with a fishing pole, reel that gator up to the boat, which is takes some doing. If you ever get in the boat and get a noose around his nose or a lasso rope or whatever and get him secured to the boat, then you can choose, hey, I want to turn this and loose because he ain't big enough or whatever. But if you shoot him with a bow, but like a bow fishing bow, then you're committed. You when you shoot him and stick him, you got to kill that. That's your gator. You got to tag it. So there's no catch and release. Then you can catch and release if you use a fishing pole. So Rhonda said she copied and pasted, but it kept not adding to the end, so I gave up. I tell you what that is. It only allows you to put so many words in a live chat. You're limited to so many characters because I commented on somebody's stuff the other night. I think I was watching Crappie Connection and Brad Chappell's stuff on their crappie fishing, and I commented on that, and I had to delete some words out. It would not let me type but so much at a time. Local life, that flounder fishing is a lot of fun. Let me tell you in advance, we did it last year. We was not successful. You need you a light on a pole with a battery and a backpack. And that light down there where you can hold that light down there under the water. Because walking around with a flashlight don't work. You probably already know this, but we found that out. Next thing is you need a gig with a little barb on it. Them you buy at Walmart's just like a nail. You're gonna have to reach down there and grab hold of that fish. What are you doing? What are you doing? He watching Brody with both eyes. That Brody get rough, don't he? What? The puppy's right here. Come here. Come on. Oh, one of them right here. Roscoe went in the house a while ago. He done had all the bugs he could take. Or I guess he did. You smell funny. You need a bath. This in here, he loves to eat. You can't hide nothing. Anything that's rotten or dead, he's gonna chew on it. Jennifer, you guys sound like you got it fixed up on the pool. You got that up. Well, y'all, it is 9 o'clock. It is about time to wind this show up.
The puppies won't thank
Jennifer, we struggling with the live buffer. We put a whole brand new Starlink system in this week, and that ain't solved it. So it ain't on my end. I don't know what's going on, if it's Starlink itself or if it's YouTube or what. I've noticed some of the other people doing it and hadn't had trouble. It's been frustrating for me. Uh, I'm okay with everything, and for a while it was really upsetting me. And then in the last 2 weeks, I've got where like it is what it is. I ain't gonna sweat small stuff. I'm just gonna live my life, and if I can film, I can film. If I can't, oh well. I mean, I done got to a place that's stressing over it. Ain't worth it. It'll be what it is, and that's all it is to it. Uh, I want to film and make videos because I love doing it, but it when it gets to be more headache than it's worth, it gets frustrating. It's like this buffer and everybody else's stuff seems to be doing well, and then I'm struggling with everything I do. At this point, I'm like, I'm not quitting, but I'm not gonna push it as hard as I have pushed it to pay.
Jennifer.
Yeah, Jennifer, my live has been doing this every time, and then Michelle's she had trouble streaming her pottery sale last night, so it's something to do with our Starlink and our connection or our subscription or whatever. You can bet I'm gonna email them. I'm gonna email them. Yeah, David, I was gonna make me a frog gig this year, but we don't have enough frogs down there to really hunt them a lot. So I just used what I had.
You better get. Yeah, you better. Don't tell these boys to get out here.
John, I don't even know what their mugs are. They around $30-something, I think. But Brody, get all that picked up and put that broom up. Didn't I tell you to put the broom up earlier tonight? Oh, Jesus. Lord help.
Abby, did you want a kid? Did you? Dad, did you want a kid?
Yeah, I did. I just thought you was gonna be good like Lissy. I didn't know you was gonna be wild as a jackrabbit and park feral. I think he's feral is what it is. So local, are you gonna I'm gonna have to build you a flounder gig and hock it off to you.
I'm seeing the door.
Well, Jennifer, on Starlink, I've had better luck with the bot, talking to the automated bot. I can pull that up, and that's how they diagnosed my other system. And go put that broom up right this minute. And they diagnosed my system and figured out that it had malfunctioned and was bad. And they sent me a new one. And then this one, it come back on and started working all of a sudden. So I just left it. Well, then when I started having trouble, I hooked a new one up. Well, it's still everything's buffering. So I'm gonna get set down and chat with that bot tonight, and I think I can remedy some stuff. Uh, I don't know what's going on, but if I can't do my lives, they went up from $120 to 130 recently. So
Dad, not open the door.
Well, y'all, we have been doing this. It is after 9 o'clock. It is time to end all of this. Can't stay on here all night with it buffering and going in and out, acting wonky and crazy, and all kind of such as that. Puppy, what do you think? All right, sit down. We fixing to end this out. Get in your chair. Quit knocking over. I don't want you knocking my cup off. He knocks everything around. He don't pay attention. He'll break the handle off my brand new Spirit of the Outdoors mug that I had to beg for to get the color I wanted. Now I need that in a fat bottom mug, but I'm gonna have to make the mug looks like. So anyway, y'all, thank you for watching tonight, tuning in, hanging out with us. We didn't cook, but we did eat some breakfast. But we've had a good time. We appreciate all of you that watch and listen to me rant, and gripe about things, laugh. We hadn't told no lot of jokes and made it interesting, but it's hot, it's sticky, it's time to go in, get a shower, and go to bed and whatever else we got to do. We got bugs about to eat us up. I think Puppy is ready to go in the house. He looks like he's getting ready for snuggle time. He gets ready to go to bed pretty early. Puppy likes to go and get to bed and go to sleep. So anyway, get over there. Get over there.
I want Puppy to
Get
do
over
it.
there.
I want Puppy to do it
To do what?
in this video.
Well, he is. But he can't. Will you torture him?
I'll make him talk.
So anyway, y'all, thank you for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. Remember, the best way to do things
Is the way you like to do it.
Hmm,
Is the way you like to do
you
it.
can't even see you. See, that's why I told you to sit down. The best way to do things.
The way you like to do it.
We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one. All right, I didn't want no sugar. Sit down. Let's go inside.
Funny.
We gone. We'll see y'all.